Hi guys, Camille here, and today I'm learning how you make a round drawing. Sorry, my voice sounds really high, and I was trying to do a video test for my oldest brother YouTube channel, and I'm stuck like this for 20 more hours. Okay, let's start the video.
For this project, I'm going to show you how to make Proto Putty. Proto Putty is a cool moldable dough that you can press into nearly any shape, but after 10 minutes it magically turns to rubber. Bouncy, stretchy rubber. All you need for this project is a box of food coloring, a tub of cornstarch, and a tube of 100% silicone. It's extremely important you get silicone number 1, and while you're here, double check your tube is marked 100% silicone just to be sure. Now to minimize the mess we're about to make, it's going to be helpful to have 2 disposable paper bowls on hand. Grab some of the food coloring and squirt a generous amount into one of the bowls, remembering that the more you use, the richer your Proto Putty color will become. The silicone caulking goes in next, so carefully squeeze a big blob of it directly into the food coloring until you feel like you've got enough. And keep in mind that silicone number 1 releases acetic acid vapors while curing and smells so strongly of vinegar that it'll make your nostrils sting. So you might want to think about mixing this up outside, or at least in a well-ventilated area. Use something like a popsicle stick to slowly fold the silicone and food coloring together. Make sure you don't mix it too quickly or it might splash out and stain your clothes. You'll be able to tell when the 2 components are combined because they blend nicely into a solid and uniform color. Now it's important to note that as soon as the food coloring is mixed, the clock is ticking, and we've only got about 10 minutes of work time before this all starts hardening up. But the problem is, this stuff's ridiculously sticky and extremely difficult to work with. But if you drop the blob into a big bowl of cornstarch, then generously coat the outside with powder, the silicone becomes a lot easier to deal with because the powder prevents it from sticking to anything. Now, if you don't want to turn your hands different colors or end up with super sticky fingers, now is the time to put on a pair of disposable gloves. Of course, gloves are optional for anyone feeling adventurous, but you may regret not using them, just saying. Flatten the silicone blob down into the cornstarch, then flip it over a few times, kneading it into different shapes and repeating the process about 10 to 15 times. This will help tame the sticky nature of the mess and make it a lot more manageable to work with. Now, if any part of the silicone starts feeling sticky again, just coat it with more cornstarch and repeat the process until it loses all of its tackiness. After around 2 minutes of kneading the cornstarch in, the color of your silicone putty should brighten back up and start feeling a lot like Play-Doh. When it's thoroughly mixed to the point where it doesn't stick to your hands anymore, the Proto Putty is finished and ready for immediate use. You can mold it, squish it, or press it into whatever shape you want. Just remember, you've only got 5 to 10 minutes of work time before it turns to rubber, so whatever you're doing, make sure you do it quickly. I tried making impressions of some stackable plastic bricks, and you can see that after only 15 minutes, the rubber is already so stiff we can pull it out of the mold. Popping the bricks out, you can see they left a perfect impression in the putty and created a fun little mold that looks remarkably similar to the kind I made in a previous video. The final product is extremely stretchy, very rubbery, and amazingly durable as well. Now this idea works because general purpose silicone is activated by moisture. So by blending in a generous amount of food coloring, the silicone gets triggered and instantly begins the curing process. Just for fun, I squished up a ball of leftover putty and watched it harden into an interesting ergonomic stress ball made just for me. And perhaps this would be a quick and easy way to make a custom pair of rubber handle grips as well. Now if you want to have even more fun with your Proto Putty, try mixing a batch with neon food coloring instead. I used neon green to make a batch and pressed it over an acrylic mold I designed for a different project, then gently wrapped the edges up around the sides to let it set. 20 minutes later, you can see the rubber is cured, and we've got ourselves a cool little mold for making custom bars of soap. I formed another chunk into a hook shape and pressed it onto my wall to make an improvised key hook for hanging car keys. I made a clip for my workbench to prevent power cables from pulling out of place, and I even tried wrapping some around a fork to make an ergonomic handle grip that fits the shape of my hand perfectly. Now I was curious to see what the Proto Putty would do if we didn't use any cornstarch at all, so I whipped up another big batch and slopped it straight into the mold. Surprisingly, it still only took about 20 minutes to completely set up into a version even stretchier, and perhaps even more durable and resilient than it was before. The problem is that without cornstarch, it's difficult to work with and really hard to remove air bubbles trapped at the bottom. Now check this out. If you want to fuse 2 of your rubber creations together, all you need is a dab of fresh Proto Putty to bind them. Press the pieces together, let the putty cure, and just like that, the 2 have become one. Proto Putty is a fun rubber that's surprisingly bouncy, which means you can make rubber toys, roll your own bouncy balls, or make just about anything else you can think of. I tried rolling a piece of yellow putty into a loop and turned it into a custom silicone wristband, then pressed another piece into a taco shape, which made a custom rubber base for watching movies on my smartphone. This quick and dirty pinch pod is great for storing paper clips at the office, and I even tried making a screw-on lid for mason jars, which is easy to use and surprisingly watertight as well. Proto putty is fairly stretchy in general, but the thicker you make it, the more durable it's going to be. It works great for impression casting, like making half molds of little glass bottles, but if you're tempted to use it for making custom candy molds, you might want to reconsider. Construction silicone can be harmful if swallowed and can cause serious side effects if it gets inside your body. So rather than using it to make candy molds, it's probably better just to make toys, crayons, or little rubber erasers instead. Well, now you know how to use a few simple and very common materials to make huge batches of proto putty on a budget, so you can channel your power of creation and make anything you want. By the way, there's a different kind of food-grade silicone you can use for making candies, and I'll put a link in the description to where you can find it. Well, that's it for now. If you like this project, perhaps you like some of my others. Check them out at thekingofrandom.com.
When the video of a ninja, making a ninja ball or something, or you just make another video. So this takes 4 minutes long, so I'm just be quick about it.
These ninja balls are customizable, mashable, and perfect for juggling. The best part is you can make them at home for practically nothing. In this project, we're turning some flour and a bag of party balloons into a colorful batch of superhero stress balls. All we need to start this project is a variety of latex party balloons and a container like a juice bottle. This one has a wide mouth, and you'll see why that's better in just a minute. Now, if we cut a common water bottle in half, it'll turn upside down and form a makeshift funnel. We can use this to start filling our juice bottle with flour, and we're going to need about 3/4 of a cup. You can see that shaking the funnel up and down rapidly transfers the flour into the juice bottle, and now the next step is to get it inside a balloon. We need to find 3 balloons that are the same color, and for this first one, I'm going to choose yellow. Now, to get the flour inside, simply blow a balloon and twist the neck around 4 to 5 times so the air is trapped inside. Stretch the mouth of the balloon over the top of the juice bottle, and when it's on securely, just let the balloon go. If you turn the bottle upside down and squeeze it repeatedly, you can see the flour transfers easily without making any mess. Alright, let's pinch the neck of the balloon and pull it off the bottle so we can let the air out, but it'll be important to pinch it off again before it starts spewing out flour dust. We still need to get as much air out of the balloon as we can, and massaging the base will help compress the flour and move any trapped gases to the top. At this point, you should be able to let go, and the flour will stay neatly inside the balloon. Okay, to get ready for the next step, let's carefully clean the outside of the balloon with a damp cloth, then slowly and carefully use a pair of scissors to cut the excess off the top. While that's settling down, it's a good time to prepare the other balloons by cutting the ends off them as well. When you pull them open, you should be able to get all your fingers inside, and if you stretch them open wide enough to place the center over the flour ball, then wrap it around to the underside, it'll seal the flour inside and hold everything together firmly. You can remove any little ripples by pulling the edges until it looks nice and smooth. Now, if you want to make sure this never comes apart, one option is to use a few dabs of super glue on the underside of the lip. The glue bonds really well to rubber and will help prevent the balloons from pulling apart. Now, we can also increase the durability by adding a couple more balloons. This makes it exponentially stronger, and depending on how firm you want it, you can add as many layers as you want, but try not to use less than 3. I used 4 balloons for this one, and the finishing step is to add a black ninja mask. To form that, just make U-shaped cuts around the edge of a black balloon, then fold it in half so you can cut a U-shape out of the side. When you open it up, you'll have a hole right through the center. And putting the mask on the ninja ball is as simple as turning the band inside out and wrapping it around the outside. Now try matching one of the holes on the mask with the seam on the ball, and the seam will virtually disappear. This is really cool because most people will have no idea how you made this. Just for fun, I tried making a couple more balls with monochromatic colors, and those ended with an awesome two-tone effect. Then I made 4 solid green balls with blue, purple, orange, and red ninja masks. Now I know you can totally see where I'm going with this. Baby Ninja Turtle eggs. Now check this out. If we stack them on top of each other and push down hard, you can get a feel for how squishy they really are. Not only that, but they'll stick to each other as well. I tried smashing them into the ground and was amazed by how resilient they are. And check out how they all form different shapes. I wonder if this could be classified as modern art. These will hold their shape as long as you don't mess with them too much, and if you play around with different color combinations, you can see just how easy it is to make any superhero theme you can think of. I tried making a whole variety of different colors and was impressed that one cheap bag of flour makes over 20 different toys. The soft rubbery texture makes them easy to grip, so they're actually perfect for juggling, and since they're ridiculously cheap to make, they're an awesome gift for kids. Well, now you know how to take a sack of flour and a handful of party balloons and convert the
Thank you for watching my video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on my notifications on. Thank you and have a good day.